North Carolina Picker here. It's Monday. It's time for a fresh 50. We're going to move right on through this list so that way we can get to tomorrow and keep on moving. I'm going to be done probably be in about 2 more weeks. So every day I'm working on it. I'm getting it done and bringing 50 to the table for you people out there. And let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. First one today, Gary Puckett and the Union Gap. Yep, everybody likes a little Gary Puckett. Lady Willpower, Woman, Kentucky Woman. They sound like a lot of songs about women. Man, they were a great band. I can remember watching them on TV and stuff when I was a wee little lad. And I found this one, Gary Puckett and the Union Gap featuring Young Girl. And this one here is I think it's a Taiwanese release, and it's got the Mighty Quinn on it. A lot of you people out there will know these records. Love me some Gary Puckett. How about Gary Wright? Got the old Dreamweaver here. Everybody from back in my day, back in high school, everybody was listening to Dreamweaver. And we're going to move right into, looks like we're going to move right into Genesis here. So here's Trespass. This is before Steve Hackett and Phil Collins joined the band. This album here is with Anthony Phillips. I don't have the Revelation, the first album, from Genesis to Revelation. My nephew has it, but I don't have it. It's here. Genesis Nursery Crime. You know what's coming next. Foxtrot with Supper's Ready on it. Watcher of the Skies. Great albums there. And we have Genesis Live. Selling England by the Pound. And then The Mighty Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. And after the Lamb comes the Trick. That's when Peter Gabriel exits and Phil Collins takes over the microphone. And the rest is history. They looked and looked for a vocalist, and they found one right there in their drummer. And we have Duke. That one was out of order. Wind and Weathering. The last album with Steve Hackett. I gotta move Duke back. Might as well do it now. Then we have Spot the Pigeon. This is on blue vinyl. These are the extra songs that were left over from Wind and Weathering. Then we have this comp that was released in the beginning, which is from Genesis to Revelation, just a reissue. Then we have, and then there were 3. The first album without Steve Hackett has Follow You, Follow Me on it. Then we have Seconds Out, which was a live album they did and showcased their early material. And Steve Hackett is on this. That's actually the Wind and Weathering tour. I've seen it twice. I saw it once in Philly, and then I seen it again at Madison Square Garden. Genesis with Peter Gabriel, another comp of their first album from Genesis to Revelation, just different country. This one here, I believe, is it's an Italian release. Then we have this one here, which is another of the, this is a Spanish one. This is, again, this is a reissue of their first album, from Genesis to Revelation, with The Silent Sun and Am I Very Wrong? Great album. Now I'll go ahead and show Duke. We'll put Duke in here. And then we'll bring in Three Sides Live, which is a live Have Abacab. Yeah, have Abacab on there. This is the tour for that band, that album. And we have the Genesis album. And I don't have Invisible Touch. And it looks like I don't have Abacab. So that's two albums I don't have. I need to pick up some of their later. And We Can't Dance. I think I have that on CD. And then, of course, their final album with Ray Wilson I have on CD. Gentle Giant, Three Friends. So we're moving right into Gentle Giant now. There's some holes in here too I need to fill. I don't have their first two albums. And this is Giant Steps. It's on that Vertigo. Looks like the Vertigo label, but it's got the spaceships on there. This is the first 5 years, but this is only one record of that double set. So this is kind of like a placeholder for now. And it's in a cover that belongs in a band called Flash in the Pan, which I don't have and never heard of. I heard of them, but I don't have their music. So it's just sitting in this cover for now until later on when I find that album. And this is probably my favorite of the Gentle Giant albums, In a Glass House. What do we got next? We got Octopus. This is the one I just found recently and I was talking to people about. It's a lot of people's favorite album. Steven Wilson just redid this on CD. The Power and the Glory. Freehand. A lot of people's favorite Giant album. And I'm missing their last album, Civilian and Missing Piece and those, but they're pretty forgettable anyway. We have on here, we have Interview, probably their last good album. Then we have Playing the Fool live. This is their live album with a lot of input from all those albums I just showed you, plus their first album, which I don't have. And we move in a little bit of George Benson, Breezin'. See, we're still in the G's. We're heading towards the H's. And we got here George Harrison, Dark Horse. My only George Harrison album that I have. I'm looking to get a few more of these. I like to get All Things Must Pass. I have the reissue on that came out a few years ago when they stripped it. They took all the Phil Spector stuff off. And I got that on CD. How about some George Winston? This is Ballads and Blues, 1972. And this is Windham Hill. And how about Autumn, George Winston? I like some New Age music. You'll see that in my collection as we go. Every once in a while I want to listen to some New Age in winter into spring. These you can pick them up all day long in Goodwill's for $1. I don't leave them. If I see them in Goodwill, I pick them up. This is George Winston December, piano solos. I think I have 3 copies of this. 2 copies just went to the other room. Maybe it was just 1 copy. There's only 1 copy because I'm keeping this one. Because someone had wrote a note to somebody that they gave this album to them as a present. So I'm gonna hold on to this one. I kind of like it. This one here is Glenn Shirley, and this guy was a convict in this jail here. You can read about his story. That he, John. It's a great album, and it has notes on here from Folsom Prison. This is where Johnny Cash is the one who helped them get this record done. At the time of this recording in '71, Glenn Shirley was incarcerated in Vacaville, California. and it tells you, goes into the whole story about the album and how it was Johnny Cash helped him get this record deal and get it the album produced and stuff. It's a really interesting album. It's good. I'm gonna hold on to that one. Glenn Frey solo album that I found at a yard sale. I have just the one Glenn Frey album. I don't have the all-nighter. This album here is kind of like the Golden Aviator, Chance of Heart. It's kind of like a Christian record, but it's kind of a new age record as well at the same time. It's pretty interesting. We used to see this record all the time in record stores and antique malls and stuff. But it's a pretty good album. I need to look it up, read about it someday. Gordon Giltrap. He's an excellent guitarist, 12-string guitarist. I think he might be multi-instrumentalist. He made a lot of jazz, fusion, prog albums. And this album would have came out in the late 70s, 77, Perilous Journey. But you look him up, he made a bunch of records. I think he did some albums with Adam Wakeman too, Rick Wakeman's son. But he's excellent. If you get a chance, listen to Gordon Giltrap. Oh, we're going to kick right into Graham Edge, the late great drummer for the Moody Blues. He made a couple albums with Adrian Gervais. These albums are pretty good. Got really cool looking art on them. They're on Threshold Records. This one here is the same Graham Edge band with Adrian Gervais. This one now is called Paradise Ballroom. You can pick these up cheap. And they're on that, this album is on London Symphonic. But Threshold Records is the ones who made, it was the Moody Blues label. And then Ray Thomas and Graham Edge, John Lodge and Justin Hayward, they all used, and Mike Pinder also with The Promise. But they all used the Threshold label. Graham Nash, Song for Beginners. This is another one of those Taiwanese pressings. Label's pretty cool on that. And over here we got Graham Nash Wild Tales. I pick up anything that has to do with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. If it's a solo album, I usually pick them up. Even like Stephen Stills and Manassas and all those albums. Neil Young's albums. David Crosby's albums. I tend to pick them up. I found this one in a flea market for $1. Graham Nash, Innocent Eyes. I haven't listened to that one yet either. I want to, instead of going to the record store, I just need to look at my own collection. I probably pull out 100 records I haven't listened to. I listen to the same ones all the time. How about Graham Parsons, GP? I really like Graham Parsons. I started getting into listening to him this year. With the Flying Burrito Brothers and the Byrds and how instrumental he was. Grand Funk. Now we're starting. We got we're going to go down that Grand Funk hole. Well, that's a big old wormhole here. They made a lot of records for a garage band. Probably my favorite American band of all time. Grand Funk Railroad. Been listening to them since I was probably junior high. This one is called On Time. Then we have the Grand Funk Railroad album. Yeah. Then we got Closer to Home. Got Mean Mistreater on here. Oh, I love that song. That's a great song. Then we got what happened to Grand Funk Live? Maybe it's going to be in the next batch. And we got Survival. I got Grand Funk Live. It should have been that next one, but these are later. These are after the live album. They'll probably show up in the next 50. E Pluribus Funk, which was the silver. Looks like a $50 or a silver dollar. It's got foot stomping music on it. Then we got Phoenix. And then you'll have to wait till tomorrow to see the rest. Because that's 50 right there. And I did it in 15 minutes. I think we're getting quicker and quicker. Either that or I'm spending less time showing the records. But I got a record today from Patrick, the vinyl archivist. I want to say thank you very much, Patrick, if you watch my shows. I was able to get this today, and we'll do a review of this on Saturday when I do my new finds on Saturday. I got so far we got 5, picked up 5 yesterday and 1 today, so I got 6 already to show you on Saturday. And that was a little sneak preview of the Syd Barrett album. But little did I know that David Gilmour and Richard Wright are both on this album. And David Gilmour produced this record, and with Richard Wright. Nick Mason and Roger Waters are not on this record that I could find. So it's like a hidden gem of Pink Floyd releases with Syd Barrett, and I like all his stuff. But I didn't have this album, so I'm really happy to have it. And I want to say thank you to Patrick, and I'll be looking forward to going on his next sale with Rob the Wax. They always do a great job. They have great records, and they do great prices, and they're real patient with everybody, and everybody gets what they want. Make sure everybody gets everything in the that you get, and when it gets shipped to you, that it's just perfect. It comes in without any nicks, scratches, or bang ups when it comes in through the mail, and like that. So looking forward to them doing another show here, another sale here soon. So I'll let you go for now, and we'll see you tomorrow on the North Carolina Picker Show, and we're going to show you another 50 albums. Like we say, we're still into the G's in Grand Funk, so we're going to be moving from the G's. Looks like we're going to be heading right towards the H's in the next batch. So y'all take care, and God bless our troops, and we'll be seeing you tomorrow. Take care.